like the word disabled. It implies someone is unable when frankly they may not be. When we see someone in the street who is deformed or looks weird, why do we think of them as such? Aren't they just like us? Why do we have this natural instinct to judge each other? So-called disabilities put people at a great disadvantage. Did you know that more than half of disabled people have faced bullying or harassment at work just because they aren't exactly the same as everybody else? Back in 2014, in Bali, there was an estimated amount of 26,000 severely mentally disabled people kept in Pasang. People in Pasang are people kept in chains or in cages by families that don't understand them and can't afford to treat them. It worries me how uneducated and prejudiced the world has become against disabilities and how it's still becoming. But what is prejudice? Prejudice is an opinion not based on reason or experience. Examples of prejudice include things such as these: direct discrimination, disability-related discrimination, failure by an organisation to make a reasonable adjustment to allow you access, victimisation and harassment. Look at how many of these dictionary definition points apply just to people with disabilities, or as I said, are much more likely to happen to people with disabilities. Basically, prejudice is completely unnecessary, be it towards someone's race, religion, gender, abilities, but still, it affects all of us on a daily basis. You can't get this job because you crack under pressure in exams. You can't get married because of your sexual orientation. You can't wear makeup because of your gender. You don't get the marks because you didn't do the maths equation the way everyone else did, even though you got the right answer. You can't do something because you're unique. Just because someone has a disability doesn't mean that they aren't human, that they don't have a hilarious personality, that they can't achieve just as much, if not more, because society has labelled them as disabled, unable. There are many famous people whom society has labelled as having a disability. Take the Lost Voice guy, winner of Britain's Got Talent 2018, Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein, Andrea Bocelli and so many others. How many people on this earth knew half as much as Stephen Hawking, discovered half as much as Albert Einstein? I can tell you now, very few people have accomplished what these people have. Disability is defined like this. You see, limits, not stops. There are 7 main umbrella topics within the term disability. Physical, such as prosthetic limbs, deafness, visual impairment, ABIs, or acquired brain injuries, such as things brought on by tumours, strokes, injuries. Autism, intellectual disabilities, such as Down syndrome, and mental health. But each of these is an umbrella topic within itself. Trust me, I know so many people with a wide range of disabilities. Some family, some friends, all of them are so different. In fact, I know, or have known, I think at least one person in each of those categories. Some of them you wouldn't even realise were disabled at first glance. Each disability is completely different, and a lack of education can lead to extreme prejudice. A severely intellectually disabled friend of mine was upset in a shop with her parents. It was quite clearly obvious that she was disabled. A complete stranger walked past and was obnoxious and rude. She started saying things under her breath, and even though my friend didn't understand, her family did. Once you get to know her, she is a really great girl, but this accusing, prejudiced tone disables you from knowing that. So it leads me to wonder, what is prejudice against disabilities? It's called ableism. It's really common and can range from something as simple as not being given a taxi as you have a guide dog to something as disturbing as being abandoned in a wood with no mobile phone at night whilst being nearly completely blind. Right, now imagine this. You look different to everyone else. Maybe you have a hunchback, prosthetic limb, anything. You are just like everyone around you inside, but you are different on the outside. Suddenly, you're fired from your job. You can't get a taxi home. You try to go to the shops, but people won't let you access things. You try walking along a street, but are attacked and harassed. Each of these things will be experienced, and has already been experienced, by a disabled person. We don't much like it, do we? So why do they have to put up with it? 200 years ago, this prejudice could have been because you were black. 100 years ago, because you were Jewish. And today, because you're disabled. But how to stop it? Just spread the word. When you see a disabled person out and about, don't squirm away. Give them a smile. In fact, give everyone a smile. Just treat everyone like each other, as equals. Can you see now why we need to be more accepting? Why we need to respect everyone, accept anyone, and accept no one?